So the Athabasca Glacier is one of 6 glaciers connected to the Columbia ice field. And out of the 6, we have 4 of them over here on the Alberta side, and 2 of them are over on the British Columbia side, because the ice field is 165 square kilometers. It's massive. It sits way up high in the Alpine ecoregion, kind of straddling the tops of mountains. So think of the ice field as the palm of your hand, and then the glaciers are my fingers, okay? So the only thing that's moving from the ice field is the ice that it's making for its glaciers. It's flowing out like a frozen river. The ice field as a whole doesn't move. It might move like side to side, back and forth, might shift, but it really doesn't move. And that's one of the biggest differences between a glacier and an ice field, because glaciers by nature, by definition, they move a ton. They're constantly in motion. Like I said, they're like frozen bodies of water. There's big frozen rivers. So this glacier here we're going to be on today, it moves about 30 centimeters every single day in a downward motion. Now I can see all of you guys. In a downward motion. So it goes towards the Discovery Center because it's getting pushed from the very top, because that's where the ice field is. So the ice field is going like through all of the little like valleys in the mountains, and then it creates glaciers that way. So it's almost like the overspill of the ice field creates the glaciers. Now, ice fields, on the other hand, they are very dependent on glaciers in order to be considered an ice field. If you have an ice field that isn't feeding into a glacier, it's just a giant brick of ice. It loses its classification as an ice field. Glaciers, though, they can be independent. They can be connected to an ice field. There's a lot of different classifications when it comes to glaciers. But I'll give you guys a break talking about glaciers, because we're about to go down the steepest commercially used non-paved road in North America. So we're going to go down to a 32% grade today.
Wow.
I believe the steepest limit that you can have on like a highway road is 8% here in Canada. I don't know what it is in the States. I think the only roads that are comparable, though, are some of the hills in San Francisco.
Down the hill. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how people park on that. Like
Carefully. Yeah.
carefully, I guess. Yeah, you're right. A good park brake. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's where having a stick is not. Oh,
No,
yeah.
I can't imagine trying to drive a manual in San Francisco. Oh my God, that sounds like a recipe to back into someone's accident.
Yeah.
It's a bitch.
It's yeah. Can confirm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with a compound low like this, you could probably handle it. pretty
Oh,
well.
probably. Yeah. Can you imagine me driving around one of these in the downtown San Francisco?
I'd like
My
to see
top
that.
speed is 15 kilometers an hour, by the way. I would piss off the entire city all at once.
Oh, yeah.
So although I like to refer to it as the world's slowest roller coaster, or as the steepest commercially used non-paved road in North America, because it sounds way cooler when you call it that, technically, on technical terms, this is called the lateral moraine. And lateral, just inside, moraine means dirt and rock. So we are going down this side pile of dirt and rock. You can see on the left-hand side all the way across to the side of the glacier. That's actually outlining how tall the glacier used to be, because in all the moving around that the glacier does, back when it would have been that height, it has the ability to push everything out of the way. Glaciers are one of the only few things that can actually carve out valleys and mountains because of how strong they are. So they were able to push all of this up out of the way, but when they receded, I mean, they can't really like put all those pebbles back where they came from, right? So what we're left with are these big old piles of rock.